Welcome. This is one interview in a series of Resilient Girl interviews in collaboration with Too Young to Wed and New Era Creative Space. We're aiming to connect young women around the world, and we're also aiming to connect young women with female advocates such as yourself.
Hey, my name is Cassandra. I am 21 years old.
I did a little bit of research on you. You're incredibly impressive. So you're a member of the
Thank you.
House of Representatives and the Children and Family Law Committee, right?
So I got elected into the House of Representatives when I was 19 years old. I then was sworn in and assigned to the Children and Family Law Committee.
When you got elected, you're only 2 years older than I am now. That's incredible to me. It's not an easy career to get into.
It's not. I jumped into it without even realizing that I was into politics when I was 15 and a half, almost 16, when I found out about the marriage age in all across the world and what was going on. I started researching about it, and I found the marriage age in New Hampshire was 13 for girls and 14 for boys, and I thought that was crazy. So I decided to do something about it, and I reached out to my local state representative at the time, and she gladly said that we need to change this, and she would gladly sponsor a bill to change it. And next thing you know, I'm into politics. What made you want to get involved?
So first, I joined New Era Creative Space when I believe I was 7 years old as a mentee. And I have since become a mentor for the same group. But I first joined a group. It was basically a female empowerment group that kind of aimed to, give young women in our community, the voices and the confidence to just say, "Hey, I'm powerful. I know my value." And the leader of our creative space came to me and said that we were going to be doing these interviews with Too Young to Wed. I mean, it's just an incredible opportunity, because we're just able to connect with so many different voices from young women around the world and in the US. It's so impactful and it's so inspiring to hear all these different stories, and I think it's great. Most people, from what I understand, view child marriage as kind of like an international thing, something that's not really a problem in the United States. So could you talk a little bit about like what kind of things you've experienced, like, and how we should view child marriage in America?
So I also thought it never would happen in the US, but when I started doing research, I realized that it's happening all over the world globally. During my research, I remembered my Nana. She was married very young. She was married at 16. I actually sat down and talked with her when she was still alive, and she told me her story, and I was the only one that she told her story to out of all of her daughters and her family. I found out that another family member of mine was married at 16. She was married to a 49-year-old man, and she's my great great grandmother. And we saw how much that impacted both sides of the family for generations. Even my generation is still being impacted by it.
At a very young age, which must have been difficult anyway, you entered into a difficult campaign and career. Is there any like one thing or one handful of things that kept you like focused on your goals during that time?
It was definitely all the voices that contacted me when I was fighting to end child marriage. All those people saying, keep doing it because I want someone there hearing my voice.
That's amazing. So, how has COVID-19 impacted your campaigning and the kind of outline of how your work normally goes versus how it is under Corona times?
Normally, I'd be out canvassing, talking with people at their doorstep and giving them my literature, but it's a little bit different now because of COVID-19. And I just want to make sure that my constituents are safe and I'm being safe and trying to limit the contact between us.
Do you find any one particular challenge that you face that's been bigger than others in your career?
The biggest obstacle would definitely getting people to listen to what I have to say who not necessarily think that ending child marriage is a big issue.
The issues that you're advocating for aren't something that necessarily cross the mind of someone every day. So I think the work that you're doing just to get your voice heard is, it must have been so difficult, but it's really an inspiration to other women out there, just to, spread the message, like, don't give up on what you are passionate about and what you believe in, because what you're doing is really important and people need to be made aware of that.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to get involved in something, then do it. I know that throughout it, there was people who discouraged me from doing it, who said, "Oh, well, you're very young and they might not really like you. I mean, they're older." And that's not the case. They actually really like young people getting involved in politics. I'm seeing myself, so many young people get involved in politics. It's really exciting for me, and I hope that people will continue doing so and not feel discouraged to get involved just because they're too young or because they won't feel like their voice matters, because it does.